Good morning, everyone. Welcome once again, Instructional Design with Regan White. Another what's going on kind of a stream today. Let's see who's out there and who's awake and who's who's not. Kat, you may or may not be out there. I usually stream about 9:30, so if you feel like watching the stream, that's okay. My lights are really a mess this morning. I'm gonna have to reposition my key light or my fill light. I guess it's kind of a mess right now. It's basically blasting out the entire side of my face. I'm gonna have to tone that down some, but I can't do it right now. So let's just run with what we have today. It's not that big a deal since it's such a small audience, and Katrina already knows what I look like. So yeah, there you go. All right, this morning, after a little brief news, we're gonna go and look at OBS and see how we can use OBS to make a desktop recording or how we can use it to do live stream, whichever we choose to do. So this is kind of an OBS tutorial, but right now, let's get into the news and see what's going on. This is I guess the last official day of classes here at Grayson. Everybody's getting ready to move out. I know all my peeps are loading up. All of them have successfully more or less completed their finals, successfully more or less completed their classwork, so it looks pretty good. Everybody's heading out tomorrow, and the dorms have to be cleared tomorrow. So if you're a Grayson student and if you happen to be wondering what's going on, make sure you have your stuff cleared out of your room by tomorrow. Also, you need to meet with housing. Don't forget that. If you don't meet with housing, there's a fine to pay, so make sure you meet with housing. In other news, the cafeteria is closing today at dinner, so they will not, or pardon me, at lunch. Yeah. Some people say dinner, some people say lunch. It doesn't really matter. All that matters is it's the middle meal. Afternoon today, you will not be able to eat in the cafeteria. You will not be able to eat in the cafeteria tomorrow, and they will be closed for 2 weeks, I believe. They, I believe, are coming back on the 2nd of January, just like we have to come back on the 2nd of January. So next week, we get out. The staff will be leaving. The business office will be closing on Friday of next week. I believe that to be the 15th or 16th. No, 15th. And so after that Friday, if you have business in the business office, it's going to have to wait until after the new year because we won't be back. So that's about all the news there is at Grayson. Around the house, not much going on. It's pretty peaceful where I live right now. I got back on the working out mode this morning. You guys will be proud of me. I got up at 5 o'clock so I could go get on the treadmill and work out. That's really the only time I have is early mornings. I used to do it in the evening, but now my evenings are full. Don't get home till 5:30. And sometimes later than that, and then usually I'm on my little side gig taking phone calls for assurance.com, your home for Medicare Part C, and so basically that keeps me pretty busy in the evenings. But I do have to have some time to work out. I was at the doctor's office yesterday, and they looked at my blood pressure and looked at my pulse and like, oh boy, you need to not be so sedentary. So I put in a mile on the treadmill every morning and do some lightweight lifting, and hopefully that will hopefully that will get me back to where I need to be. So I guess we'll see. Let's see, what else? Is there any other important news that I can think of? Not really. Hope you got your Christmas buying done because believe me when I tell you Amazon is packed to the gills. Trust me on this one. Their shopping carts are incredibly going slow right now. If you try to buy something on Amazon, what you'll discover is that the shopping cart will kick you out, and there's a timer, and then it kicks you out, and there's a timer. It takes you anywhere from 5 to 35 minutes to pay for your purchases. So make sure if you're going to Amazon, you get your stuff done. Oh, and that's about all the news that I have to report. Frankly, as far as personal stuff goes, we got our Christmas stuff. I got everything ready for my son. He's all taken care of now, so I think hopefully stuff will start coming in today, and it should be all done in by Monday. Wow, man, throat's really feeling funny. I think it's talking too much. I'm not sure. I'm not used to talking so much since I got out of the teaching mode. Anyway, all right, let's go ahead and get into our technology this morning. Not going to be a long stream, but I did want to do a couple things. What I'm going to do basically is I'm going to kick over to my desktop. And what you're looking at is a copy of OBS software. Basically, I'm going to go ahead and cancel that. This is a blank screen. I don't have my camera set up. This is another what you want to call it, another instance of OBS is running, and we're going to use that to look at what we want to learn this morning. First of all, it's fairly simple. If you're doing live chat, this is where your chat will show up. The controls for your stream are here. You can start and stop streaming, start and stop recording, virtual cameras when you want to use OBS to send things out to other locations instead of just streaming it to the internet. Studio mode switches us to 2 screens. I don't usually run in studio mode because I just don't. It's easier to do it this way. Settings are the various settings. We're not going to look at those too much, but we're going to open it up just for a second and kind of see general settings, language, things like that. The stream settings are important. I stream to restream, which means I can send to YouTube and Twitch simultaneously. I have my account connected, so I don't have to worry about putting in any stream keys or anything like that. The output, this is the kind of video I want to get out for streaming. Bit rate's 2500 kbps. Audio bit rate's 160. I'm using a hardware encoder because I have a good graphics card in my laptop of all things. And then encoder preset, it's balanced between performance and speed, basically big files and high definition. And then my recordings, I want MP4. Now there's a problem with MP4. If I have a power outage or my stream fails for some reason, the archive copy is unusable. But these are not really long streams, so the odds are not. A lot of the times people will stream to MKV because that means even if your stream quits right in the middle, what you have up to that point is still valid. But frankly, I don't feel the need for that. So I don't have a instant replay set up, so I don't worry about that. And audio running 48 kilohertz, that's pretty common for everywhere. I keep everything pretty much at default. I don't really want to change anything. Same thing with video. I'm sending out 1080p and not downscaling anything. 30 frames a second because 60 is not necessary. This is not a video game. Wow. Excuse me. I have my hotkeys set because I have a keyboard, which that's probably going to be the subject of another stream probably next week, is my cool new keyboard. So I think you'll like it. It's pretty interesting. Accessibility, I don't worry about. Advanced, not going to worry about. Those are the settings. I'm not going to change anything, so I'm just going to hit cancel. The important parts of the stream setup and the important parts of building a stream are down here. OBS works in a series of scenes and sources. The scenes are basically your different scenes, just like you would think of a television scene or a movie scene. Well, OBS uses scenes. I have built already here a title scene, which if you watch my deal, you notice it goes to the title. My main scene is the main camera that you saw a while ago, although there'd be a picture back here. The scene that you're looking at now is just scene. It's basically my desktop. That's what it looks like. You'll notice there's a lot of OBS, inside OBS, inside OBS, inside OBS. Forgive me for that. Camera, I built a scene with just the camera, and then I used that scene to spread out. But I don't have the camera turned on in this instance. And then fade to black, I leave it because that's how I start and finish my streams. So we build a scene, and I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second, and we build it out of sources. I don't have any sources set up, but I'm going to in just a second, and then I'll show you how to do it. The audio mixer, right now, only desktop audio is by default. If you want to put any like microphones or camera audio input, then you would need to add them in from the sources, which we'll look at in a second. And then scene... whatchamacallit, transitions. I'm using a stinger. That's that little white production video that you see between each one, like between title, or that one, and main scene. That is a stinger video. And so that's what I'm using to transition. But all right, let's go ahead and make a new scene. To do that, we're going to come up here to Scene Collection. We're going to go New, and we're going to give it a name, and we're just going to call this one Test Example. I'm going to tell it OK, and you'll notice what it does. It clears out everything down here but one scene. And so if you were going to do a screen, if you were going to do a stream, the first thing you would obviously build would be your main scene, or at least that's what I would do. And so I'm going to put a camera, a full-size webcam view here, and then I'm going to add some decoration to it. So to have a camera handy, or to have a camera in your scene, you have to add it as a source. We click on the plus sign down here, and what we're looking for is video capture device. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to give it a name, and I'm going to call it main view, because that's the main camera view. In fact, let's call it main camera view. How about that? Because that gives us a name that makes sense. You always want to name your scenes things that make sense, because when you're scrolling through them, it's real easy to forget. So tell it OK. All right, we're going to use the USB camera, which is currently being used right now, so it's probably not going to let us do that. We're going to leave everything else at default. Tell it OK. Now, the reason that it's not showing up is because, frankly, I'm using my camera on the other version of OBS that I've got running in my other monitor, because that's what I'm streaming to you on. So, but there would be a picture right here. So if we want to add decorations, then we need to add some kind of maybe a lower third. A lower third is just an image that goes across the bottom third of the screen. I'm going to go ahead and add one of those. So I want to add an image. And I'm going to call it lower third. Excuse me. I'm going to find the file. I wonder where those pictures are. Golly. Lower third, lower third, lower third. No, it's not in that one. Maybe it's in this one. Okay, here we go. So we're browsing right now, looking for our lower third image. And there it is, right there. There's one. Let's do a different colored one, though. You notice the image dimension 1920. That's the width of the screen by 400. That's how high we want it. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to tell it OK. Now it's way up here, and we don't want that, so we're just going to drag it down. Now that is a lower third. And so basically what it does is it allows kind of an introduction. We see this all the time in shows where you can animate them where they pop in and pop out. This one I can make it fade in and fade out if I want to. I can just click on the visibility deal here, and lower third goes and comes back. So I can do that if I want to. If I need for you to be able to view the bottom third of the screen, I can do that. What do we want to do next? Let's go ahead and put in some text. Let's put in a crawl like I have on my other one. We're just going to put in a little bit of text right in there. To do that, we're going to add a source. We're going to add text. And we're going to say scroll or screen crawl. And we're just going to crawl it across the bottom of the screen. Here we're going to put, you can put whatever you want. For your audience. And you can change the fonts, and you can change the sizes and all that good stuff. I don't necessarily want to transform it. Uppercase, lowercase, doesn't matter. We don't want it to do vertical. We can make it go up and down the side if we wanted, but we're going to tell it OK. Notice it's way up here. We don't want that. We're also going to click on Alt. And we're going to pull it over here. And we're going to take this one. and we're going to alt it and pull it back this way. And what we're doing is we're cropping it to fit. We want it to fit in that little space down there. And so to do that, we have to make it the right size. So we're going to crop it to fit this space. And now, when we start the screen, when we start the crawl, first of all, we have to make it crawl, though. We have to add a filter. I know that doesn't intuitively make sense, but to make it work, to make it move, we want to add a filter. And the filter that we're going to add is scrolling. So we're going to scroll it. We're just going to leave that name there. And we're going to, we want it to scroll horizontally. There we go. About not too fast, you can't read it. And we're going to loop it. So now, you'll notice our text is moving, and it's the same message that we left. This is a good way to get information to your audience. There's a lot of other decorations that we could add, but we don't really need to. Now, what you'd want to do, assuming you had your camera and you were able to use it back here, we can't right now because mine is being used to show the picture to you. You can only use the camera in one instance of OBS. But what you'd want to do if you're going to stream, over here in the controls, there's a button that says Start Streaming. If you have your account set up, whether it be Twitch, YouTube, Restream, whatever, you click that button, and the connection is automatic. It happens, and you get a countdown, 3, 2, 1, and off you go. If you want to just record, you can use recording here, and basically what it does, it saves the video stream to your hard drive. So you have the option to stream and record at the same time, which is what I do, or you can just stream or just record. And that's essentially the easy introduction into OBS. That is the best way to set up OBS. Now, if you wanted to, let's say we wanted another scene here. Let's add a scene, and we're going to call this one desktop. If you wanted to, say, make a desktop recording of things that you do, we're going to add a new scene over here. You notice now we have two. Our other scene is still there. Desktop is here, and so we don't have anything, but we're going to add a source. And this one we're going to add is display capture. And we're going to leave that the same. And let's see here. We're going to pick our other display. How about that? There we go. Nope, not that one. That's the one we're looking at. Okay. Tell you what, let's look at this one here. Let's do this. All right. This is my current look of OBS. This is what you're seeing on mine. So right now, this version of OBS is capturing OBS. If I shrink that down, now you'll notice that you're just seeing my desktop. So if we are going to, if you're going to do anything on your desktop, like say you wanted to do a tutorial, this is where OBS really shines, is you can record tutorials really quick and easy. Let's say you wanted to open up Word or some other program. You can just come in here, basically open up your program and then do your tutorial. And once you're done, let's say we have completed our process here. Oops. Okay, once you're done, you would be recording, and you'd come over here and hit stop recording. It would look like that, just like I'm streaming here and recording. You'd hit stop recording, and your video would save to the hard drive. And that would be that. So that is OBS in a nutshell, I guess you'd say. That is the easiest way to use it, and that is the easiest way to set it up. It's free, so if you're interested in streaming, or you want to use it as a recording tool, it is the very, very best one that I can think of, to be honest. OBS is the best recording tool that there is, because number one, it's free, and number two, it's fast and reliable. Well, did that help? I hope. If you're a instructor of some kind, if you're a teacher, if you are a professor, this is a really good way to do desktop capturing. It's a lot more involved than, say, Screencast-O-Matic or one of those screen capture plugins, but at the same time, it has a lot more tools that you can use. I've even got a little bug that pops in on the corner sometimes. Notice my little logo up there. It pops in and it pops back out. So I could animate that to move in from the side if I wanted to and move off to the side, or fade in, fade out. It's just, there's a lot of things that you can do in OBS. So basically, it's a really good tool, particularly if you are doing any kind of screen broadcasting, recording, anything like that. It's a really good tool. All right, well, with that, I'm going to cut back to my main screen. Oh, Kat, are you out there? I'm not seeing any chatting this morning. That's kind of disappointing. I was hoping you'd be popping in to say hello. I realized that you had probably an early morning. You were saying something about Flynn didn't want to didn't want to stay and sleep. He wanted to get up early, so I'm sorry about that. I know that's tough. I had a toddler. Well, it's been a while, but I did in fact have one, and they do kind of disturb your life a little bit. So good luck with that. Bless your heart, girl. All right, to the rest of you guys that are getting ready to leave, enjoy, have a good holiday, and I will see you when you come back, I guess. Be safe traveling, and come back ready to learn something. Until then, this is Regan White, and with instructional design, if you need help in instructional design, if you need tech support in Canvas, let me know, and I'm more than happy to do what I can. Until then, have a good day. Bye.